Welcome back to the Evansville Otters pregame show. I'm Mike Radomski. Time now for the player's perspective as we're joined by Otters starting pitcher Kyle Barry. Kyle, thanks for joining us. First off, let's start with that game last night. What did you think of your performance?
I thought I threw the ball pretty well. A couple tough breaks that just didn't go my way, and we ended up on the losing effort. But I thought we played pretty well. I thought I pitched pretty decent.
And your team started out with the 1-0 lead even before you went back out to the mound.
Yeah, that's always a good sign, is when you get a run that first inning. It gives you a little bit extra oomph to go out there and be like, all right, I'm going to shut these guys down for as many innings as I can go.
Now, what did you think of your stuff early on in that game?
I thought I had really good command the first 2 or 3 innings, and then all my breaking balls were working. I had a really good changeup, and I thought I had really good stuff. This was probably one of the best days I've had this year, starting-wise.
And why do you say that?
I don't know. It's just one of those days where it just all came together, and it felt pretty good.
So then you look forward towards the innings as they move along. You find your team down 5-1, and then the offense comes right back. How do you feel at that point?
I felt pretty good about our chances of winning then, because we got full runs off their out of their starter. Well, their bullpen actually gave it up, and then you could see in every game that we played them, their bullpen's been pretty shaky. So I was feeling pretty confident that we'd come on a winning effort there.
And especially with your bullpen, you had to be extremely confident.
Yeah, with our tough lefties out of the bullpen, I thought for sure that we'd be able to get a good performance out of them, and they did for the most part. Just that one bad pitch that Carter made, but I mean, what can you say?
Kyle Barry joining us here on the player's perspective. Let's take the year in as a whole, since the season's coming to an end here in a couple days. You started the year in the bullpen, you worked your way into the rotation. Big picture, what do you think of the season?
I thought I had a rough go at it the first couple of weeks since I started the year in the DL, little elbow problems, but after that I started to get used to the bullpen more, and I liked doing that, and then I got moved to the starting rotation. But I thought for the most part the year was a success, just because I got to actually play in the league and play professionally. So I mean, it was overall a good season, I think.
And you were a starter back at college, then you got moved to the bullpen. How did you adjust to that role?
It was tough at first. I didn't pitch bad, I would say. My first 3 or 4 outings out of the bullpen, I just wasn't comfortable because it took me a little bit longer to get loose. But then after talking to some of the guys like Simon and Renicky that have been in the bullpen and saying, hey, you just need to go out and throw a couple of these pitches, a couple of those, and you'll be good. And I started to get the hang of it, and I did pretty well for about a month stretch there out of the bullpen. And then I got moved to the starting rotation. I was just used to that right away. So, I mean, it was just like riding a bike.
And take us back to that moment, because you always said you wanted to get that start professionally. Then you got it at Florence. Your eyes were gleaming from one side to the other. What was that moment like?
It was pretty exciting, because I was like, man, I finally got to start. And then I was like, I'm not going back to the bullpen. And hopefully I get a chance to come back and play with Evansville next year and be a mainstay in their starting rotation.
And how do you think you've grown in a starter during the course of the season?
I would say the biggest thing that I learned how to do this year was to throw a changeup, and you need that as a starting pitcher, especially in this level. I mean, not so much. I didn't really need it too much in college, just because they weren't as good at hitters here, and I can get away with my slider and my curveball. But definitely being able to throw a changeup makes it a lot easier as a starter for sure.
And why is that?
It's just keeping them off balance. I mean, I don't throw 98 miles an hour, so my upper 80s sometimes touch 90, 91. That's not going to really get it done here. So you need that changeup to go along with your fastball for sure.
And has the game changed that much from the college ranks to the pro ranks for you?
Yeah, because 1 through 9, I mean, these guys can hit. I mean, there'll be a few weaker hitters in the lineup, but they still can hit. They were the number 3, number 4 guys in the college lineup. So I mean, you can go out there in college and throw 1 through 4 out there would be good, but then the rest is kind of like, So that's definitely a big difference from college to this.
Mike Radomski with Kyle Barry on the Evansville Otters pregame show. You look forward to the offseason. What are some of the things that you have planned during those times where you're not playing baseball?
I'm looking forward to going back, just being with my family, and going back to work actually, and making a little bit more money. I kind of miss it. It's kind of weird, but I miss work.
Now, what will you be doing for work?
I'll be doing anything from new construction of houses to remodeling, and then building additions, and just all sorts of kind of remodeling stuff back at home.
Would you say that's one of your passions when you're not playing baseball?
Yeah, for sure. I like building stuff with my hands. That's a big thing for me. Working outside, I can't sit behind a desk.
And then at what point do you start thinking about the next season?
I'm gonna think about it right away. Actually, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna work, and then I got a barn at my house that we can set up a little weight bench and stuff in there, and we can start working out right away.
So you're going to go right back into it. You're worried about the next start coming up here against River City, and then immediately 2011.
Yeah, I want to come back, so I'm going to work as hard as I can to just be that much better next year, for sure.
And if the opportunity does present itself, would you like to be back with the Evansville Otters?
Yeah, I said it before, and I say it again. Like, I want to come back to Evansville. I got a lot of, good friends down there, so I think it's a good place for me.
Kyle, thanks for joining us. Best of luck in the next start and during the offseason as well.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike.
That was Kyle Barry, the Evansville Otters starting pitcher. We'll be right back on the Otters pregame show right after this.